Planeswalker's life is an otherworldly journey that is far from easy. The consuming vortex of an ever-changing metagame can leave your house of cards feeling bombarded with endless scenarios and worry of what's next. But one company has your best interests in mind, clarifying your uncertainties with hope and solid footing. Weather the storm. Insurance for the common mage.
Greetings, one and all. It's Saturday. It's propaganda time. Shirazaman and Chimpskey, nice and early. Thank you, my friends. Here we go. So Jarvis808 is the name on Magic Online. I ran into this list of his. This is a little bit different. We'll go over his list towards the end, as we usually always do. I've been playing it on and off all week, having a lot of fun with it. It's definitely not a tier list, but it's a lot of fun and can give the illusion of being a tier list when it works there. Thank you for the link there, Shiraz. We've got 20 lands in this beast, 4 swamps, 1 plane, because sometimes we have to hard cast a Dragon Scales. The rest are forest. We got 3 wilds, 2 bogs, and 2 Ash Barrens. What are we trying to do here? Well, we got these big old fatties in Gurmag Angler, Hooting, and the Scavenger. Normally, I'm not a fan of the Scavenger, but when you apply the scales to it, it ends up being kind of the MVP of the list with evasion and such, and that's also for Hooting Mandrills. Gurmag, only reason it's at 2 is it's kind of a last case scenario. We don't really have, you endlessly hear me talking about these running into 1/1s all day long and not doing anything. That's the case here. So with that said, we've got 2 ways to bring it back from the yard. Well, actually, we have a lot more than that. 3 Dragon Scales. We've got 4 of these new Blanchwood Prowlers, which is a really nice bear, or it fetches you a land. We've got all 4 Grapple with the Past. This is the spell MVP of the list. This really, really helps you get things online. We fix our mana and fill up our yard with the Satyr Wayfinder. We've got 2 tapping at the window for the flashback ability, and another great spell, Grisly Salvage, being able to do what we want to do, getting a land or a creature back. And since we're going through our deck so fast, I'm running 1 Scrounger main, really good against Millstone decks, as everybody knows. But when you play against Millstone deck, a lot of times it gets milled or it gets countered when you try to bring it back. So that's also why we're running 2 of these in the sideboard. That's how so often you will just churn through this list crazy. So Mtmentat and Krenui, hey, yeah. So yeah, it's just a super delve deck. We've got 3 Knot of the Bone main to keep alive. I can't tell you how frustrating it is when you still lose game 1 and you're like, where are these? And you're like, 20 cards left and all 3 of these are hiding somewhere. 3 Stinkweed Imps and 1 Crypt Rat for kind of our catch-all, because we can always bring that back to life. In the sideboard, we've got 2 Rotten Reunions, because we're going to really favor flashback spells because we're throwing so much stuff in the yard. 3 Edicts, 1 more Crypt Rat. 4 Debt to the Kami, just for spot removal, really good against affinity and such, but I'm sure this could probably be tweaked a little bit. I think I didn't focus too much on this outside of the first day I saw it as in sideboard related wise. I did run in a fog and lost to it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put in 2 more of these for the reasons I said earlier. 1 Tranquility, the 4th Knot of the Bone, and 1 last Bojuka Bog for when we need to get there. So even though this deck can play pretty grindy, we can it can have wins pretty quickly if you get out a really, really fast angler and such. So we're going to jump on in here and see how we do. Hey, Insomniac Images, thanks for joining us. All right, our mana's right. We've got everything online. We'll just forest into swamp and then salvage from here. Stinkweed Imp, a little bit of a great removal spell. A little bit of a great. All right, we'll keep this. I'm curious if OBS is going to do that little blink thing again today, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we see it. Or hopefully we don't see it. Hiya! Here we go. All right, let's see what we're going to do. Man, if you're a UFC fan, I am so excited tonight. Oh, boy. The one time I don't play Undestructible Lands, right? Is our forest going to go bye-bye? I'm curious if I should just play the planes out, right? All right, we'll just bring out this. And hope it doesn't get eaten. It might. We got a second turn Thermal Karst here. That's funny. This guy's name, my mentor in editing. First person I ever interned with and learned a lot from. Turned out to be a really good friend too. His name Mike Moss, but it's with 2 A's. So I was like, whoa, is he playing Magic now? It's him. It's funny, when I got into making masks, as you saw when I made the Gary mask, he got into that too. It's like we had so many similarities. It's a trip. Alrighty. I think we just sit back and Grisly EOT. We're probably not going to have one of these lands, but it's nice that we have a Mandrills and an Angler to choose from. Hopefully we can turn over a Dragon's Fangs and make quick work of this. I just want to have my mana around for another turn. I like that he chose red because that we might be able to survive something here, but I sense an Acid Moss. I'm sure you all do too. What are we going to get? Yep. We might need to grab a land here, huh? Well, we don't have a choice. The Wayfinder's going to go a lot further, though. The Prowler is pretty cool. Put a land card from among the milled cards, whereas the Wayfinder, I believe, says the same thing from among them. Yeah. So we'll go a little deeper with the Wayfinder and say, okay. We've already got enough for some big boys here. Hey, Toki B! Finally able to catch live. Love watching and appreciate your contributions, Pauper. Well, thank you for saying that, my friend. All right. I guess we'll just turn over Imp. This is funny. We might have to actually use our land for, our spells to grab land instead of a creature. I think we go Wayfinder here, although they might be getting some big fatties out really quick. I think I'm going to, yeah, I'll bring back the Imp here. Okay, this makes things a little bit easier. Come on out, Hooters. Here we go. This one. Careful, careful, careful. We'll get rid of Ash Barrens. Tapping at the window. I guess we'll get rid of some of these little dudes here. We've already got 2 out of the bones. I'll get rid of one of them. We'll say yes to this. Pretty big body. Maybe they'll see the plane and pick on that. I don't know. Nice little red herring target on it, right? Mfringe89, nice. Yeah, that's a safe bet. I'll probably never play that unless it's a super aggro one. What was that? About 2 months back, somebody had like a mono black aggro list with Tortured Existence. That I could get behind, but talk about a insta loss with Magic Online. I'm actually surprised at PauperRBust that there wasn't a figured out Tortured Existence list. But remember my prediction a while back when I said Tron's going to be a problem again? You guys know it placed number 1 and 2 at PauperRBust with over 1,000 players. Drum roll, it was Tron. 2 different variants. And now that new, you saw our video on our top picks. There's that new one that costs 1. I mean, it doesn't have any card advantage, but still, it's pretty ridiculous. All right. I'm actually going to want to play one of these imps so I can just stop them from having a big fatty smash over here. Oh, a 6 for 14. I always thought it was 1,000. I'm sorry. I don't know where I got that number from. All right. Well, we've got our forest online. Let's not let them know that that happened for the good. We'll play the Wayfinder. Hopefully grab a swamp here. Okay. Fill up our yard. Cool. Okay. I'm playing a bit reckless here because I want to just... oh, boy, that Wayfinder looks really good, too. I'm going to... Oh, I wish I could get this back, but... I'm not sure if I want to put the dragon scales on this angler here. Be really nice to have it on another critter there, but... Okay, we're not going to be milling ourselves out here. Prowler... we're lose a lot of synergy here, but we're doing it for the sake of just trying to squish their tempo straight out. Get here. Attack! Vigilance is such a beast here because all their pressure can't really surmount to much. Yeah, I think Mtmentat there's been a few 1K events, and I me and my math head, I have 1K, and then I'm like, players. It's like, no. Like, I know RIW Hobbies out in the Michigan area does 1,000 like store credit, but $1,000 prizes. It's like, whoa! I gotta fly out there one of these times. Every time I go to an in-person event, I think I'm like 3 for 3 at getting second place. It's like I get all the way to the final table, and then I lose it. But speaking of can't quite put this into words. I think tonight on the UFC with Israel Adesanya, it's the best example of just what a true man is. I mean, this guy's he has a nemesis that's fighting against him for like, I don't know how many times now. These guy's technically beaten him 3 times now. And he's stepping up. And in all the interviews, he's saying, this is it. All the pressure's on me. They're like, any excuse. He's just putting it all on the line. I really admire that. I was just blown away. So I'm itching to see that fight tonight. I mean, imagine that. Like you're king of the ring, blah, blah, blah. You got this old boogeyman from way back in another league. And everybody says, oh, if he came here, he'd beat you. And Israel dominates him for like 4.5 rounds. And then in the last 30 seconds gets beat. And it's like, oh my God, that would just be so soul crushing, Alrighty, we really need to fill up our yard some more. I'd like to get this our dude out though. I'm just gonna smash in here, guys. Yeah, stuff ends up in the yard, we'll be fine. But I just couldn't imagine the pressure just having. Oh my goodness, it would just be crazy. I have not tried it Mtmentat, but I've seen many like it. That's pretty cool though. Let's go. We don't really care about our creatures much because they just fill up the yard some more. Vigilance is so powerful. It's when you get these big fat bodies like this, just like what? Please block the angler with a big creature. At least the deck came out firing. We had a little diversity with the acid moss, costing us a bit of time there, but all right, these guys will trade. Bonk. And we could get that back. Okay. I guess we play this. Let's mill some cards here. Let me mill first. I'll do this to this. Grapple with the pest. Well, we don't really need that forest, do we? I'd like to get back the scavenger, though, because that will be a massive flyer. Play this. Really kind of just trying to put on the gas here, guys. Normally I would tinker around and not eat a lot of my effects in this graveyard here, but for right now I'm just going all out. Like Knot of the Bone, usually I'd save that and gain some life, but we've got him at single digits. Pressure's on. I'll say yes. Again, one of the worst delve creatures for the money, but man, when you add on that evasion and now it's a 4/5 flyer with vigilance, it's pretty hard to deal with that in this format. Yeah, the Magic Online user Jarvis808 is kind enough to send in this deck list after beating me with it. I don't remember what I was playing against him. Woo! Mind Stab Troll in the house. One of my favorite cards. Propaganda. Yeah, I love back in the Fallen Empires days that you used to get so many different types of art. Like Mind Stab Troll, I think, had 2 or 3. Him, the Turok, had like 4. Those parts of that set I really liked. I should be playing Eggs for Easter, you're right. Yeah, it feels really weird because I had yesterday off, and of course my wife and I just played pickleball all day long in the morning. Then we had lunch or brunch, and then we went back and played a tournament in the afternoon. Nice way to spend your day. So it feels like it's Sunday to me. I'm all over the place. I've been a working man for just long enough where the ritual of just, the Monday through Friday grind just feels, well, like the ritual it is. Man, look at this. We can just block a boarding party and survive. Can't say that about much. I'll probably just lose the Wayfinder to it if that goes down. Interesting scenarios here. I'm getting to that point where I might just cast the Stinkweed Imp here. We're going to bring this back to our hand. Fill up our yard again. Not much to do other than attack. we've got Vigilance, so let's see. These big hitters just keep coming. And it really makes the difference. It's almost like a prismatic strands effect when you have dragon scales on these big fatties. Because it's like, okay, we swing, and then you can't swing. I had 3 of the 4. I think 2 Arabians and a Homelands. Oh, nice. Yeah. I like the one where the guy's got the real kind of amphibious body with the flappy ears and feet, and he's just running into this crowded marketplace with a bomb. And it looks so innocent. Like it just doesn't know it's being sent to its death. There's something very childlike about the visage. Oh, thank you for that, Mindstep. Yeah, I like the hymn artwork so much by Kyle something or other. I tried to reach out to the artist, and then I ended up just painting my version of it because I was tired of waiting. Guy was completely offline. Boop. All right, so we got them at 5. All their big fatties are gone for the most part. We don't have any. Well, we have that. We can bring back another Hooting. That might be pretty cool. What do you say? We only have 2 zombies in the list, so this ability to put the +1/1 is just, It's just, we mill this over, and sometimes we pay 4 to do stuff. So I'm just going to do this now, guys. We'll bring back what is that, an ape? I always get ape and gorillas and monkeys. There's if you talk to like a zoo specialist, they're always just like, that's not the same thing. And it's like, oh, I had a friend that was like really into that stuff, and I'm going to get rid of the Wayfinder and the other Hooting. And we'll make it a big old fatty. Bonk. We know they're not running Gal Blast. Now we've got another huge wall of bodies here. Oh, you're right. I missed that. Thank you for that, Pauper Tim. It's more trying to keep everything on the ground and the theme up, and you're right. But I'm sure they're playing bolts, but you're right. That was an opportunity to probably go through, unless a dino shows up. Yeah, I was trying to think of a cute name for this, guys, and I just went with Delve. I was like, give Jarvis 808 some props. I've had some builds like this that, ran the Dragon Fangs package and went a little hard in the paint with all that stuff. But I remember thinking that, too, at the end of the day, it was just so cool to just have this Vigilance out. It was like, wow, that really makes a difference. But yeah, it looks like, unless they're not using a bolt right now, that we would have won if we went with Pauper Tim's advice there, which is not the last time I've ever said that. Having all of your advice makes for a great Pauper hive mind here, right? Alrighty. What do we got? It's about time that shows up. Well, let's see what we get here. I'll just do this again. I'm just going to smash in to keep the numbers down. Or do I stay back? It's going to block that. The most advantageous would be probably Elf Hunter. I'm just going to put it to him. One's going to go over. Hopefully they missed that it has trample. There's so many other keywords there. Oh, no. They didn't miss it. We can just get them back again. Maybe we do that. Or do I finally learn my lesson? Yep, that's it. Mind Stab Troll. Answer to your query. It might be nice to just take out all these armies, huh? Nah, I'm going to get rid of the big fatty. No tricks. We just keep bringing out huge, humongous fatties and smashing face. Let's do that to... I guess I'll get rid of one of these. Certainly. Crunch. Yeah, we can do both. We can bring back Hooting and cast the... I think we can. Okay. I think we'll go get a swamp. It's been a spell since I've played, what is that, initiative? All right, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, I believe we can. We'll just play this out so we've got a nice blocker and death on a stick next turn. We'll crawl from the cellar, the mandrills again. And again, you can flash this back for 4. We'll play the mandrills. Getting rid of this, pretty much everything. And his brother. Speak and spell. Nice. I did have one of those. It was lost on me. As we all know, my spelling is still atrocious. Maths is for blockers. That's right. So it's feeling pretty good in this matchup. That got me really scared that first turn Acid Moss, but I'm playing pretty reckless where I knew we had to put our foot on the gas before those big fatties showed up. But it's neat how everything matched up, right? We're able to kind of trade and be on the victory side of things, which I don't think that list is used to seeing. They're used to having people chump block them, not the other way around. And unless the dinosaur shows up, which I think is out. No, he's not out of mana range. Oh, yeah, he is. Curious. Love boarding party, but man, when a little wayfinder can just jump in front of it, it doesn't make sense, right? When this is ramp. All right, let's see what we're going to bring in. I don't mind Crypt Rat here, but I don't think we need multiples. I feel okay boarded here. Scrounger could probably go. I'm telling you though, sometimes you saw I had like 20 cards left there. If life becomes a thing, I think we might roll this back. I'm tempted to lose. I'm going to lose one angler because there's just way too much stuff in the way. I'm going to lose both of them, actually. I do this quite a bit. Tranquility might be interesting for all of their things. I mean, we lose our scales if we play it at the wrong time. You know what you needed to finish that game? All right, I'll bite, man. Step throw. What? Dry spell. Yeah, well, we have Crypt Rats, which doesn't get thrown in our graveyard unretrievably. Let's see. We might need a Knot of the Bone. Maybe I'll just lean on gaining some life here. And one more rat to just clear out the fodder. We'll see. Angler kills all the elves. Angler gets blocked by everything. Could run the other, what is it, Dragon Fangs, I think, which gives something trample. We'll keep this. I've got the salvage to power out our yard here. It's funny, you play one plane and it just shows up in all your openers, right? That's for when sometimes too. I considered Wild Mongrel because I wanted a way to discard like imps and stuff, but found the play style, it just wasn't quite as needed. This is when you really like wilds over some of the new like Broker's Hideout and stuff, because now we're not susceptible to the our first turn land destruction, right? Like here, you know, how do we discard that? Well, with a plain main, you can just cast it. It's not that great, but yeah, Dragon Shadow, another one. Talk about an old mechanic, Fear, right? Oh, you can tell I didn't focus on the lands here. I haven't played this style of Evolving Wilds in for ages. I thought I got rid of all of them. I like the really gothic looking one. That's always my favorite. Okay. What are we going to see here? Come on, Crypt Rats, right? All right, we'll trip this for black. I think we're just going to salvage here. Just playing out like last game, except we have 2 lands. Yeah, Shadow I love, and that flashes back. Yeah, that's a nice little addition there, Pauper Tim. You could easily have Trader's Clutch in this style. Pretty much anything that can come back from the yard is a thing. All right. Well, they're taking away our ability to eat, so we'll go see what we can see. Maybe grab a swamp this time, huh? No option there, but we do have Fatty McGee here. Let's try that out. Okay. It's like whatever one he chooses, we'll go get the Delve of the other color, right? Got another land in our hand, but we don't really like it much. We might get thermokarsted here. That would be brutal. You could go boom, 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 and then it's just going to be 1 damage, I guess. Okay. Has been Delve, yes. Having some fun with it, for sure. There's the deck list. You can just click right on there, see everything interactive, download it, do whatever you want. Feeling awkward here. Let's get out of Fatty. That swamp really hurt. We've got plenty of ways to, let's try to keep the swamp in the yard. Oh, there we go. We'll just, the very blah play of dragon scaling it next turn. If there were artifacts across from us, I'd hesitate to do that, but right now, I'm not too worried. Another thing in these kind of graveyard lists, you know, they're susceptible to relic, I'm not going to lie, but it's fascinating how often they have to trip it just to stay in the game, and then you just rinse, repeat, and throw everything back in the yard again. Can get pretty fun that way. Acid Moss, number... Oh, okay. Oh, boy. This is going to get interesting. So we're going to have to make them lose their Hunter and Arbor Elf. Oh, no, they don't have enough, because our toughness will be 6. Unless they get another critter out. Yeah, well, it's just for the dragon scales when it ends up in our hand like this, so I don't have to run a discard engine like Wild Mongrel or something. Nothing against that, just kind of easier to just run one plane and go get it when you need it. Going to pay 2 for most of the discard outlets anyway. Honey Garden. Could be a thing, that's for sure. Yay! Oh, I love when things work out. Let's go like... I think leaving up, that's going to be a little scarier. We'll do that. Oh, I was wrong. It will be just enough to perfectly kill everything, right? Frustrating. I'm going to go. Technically, a little bit of a 2-for-1 there. We'll get that Scavenger online next turn, hopefully. It'll be a bit of a pinch. If they let us have a graveyard, that's for sure. I love when a plan comes together. Oh, I was a big A-Team fan. Hannibal was the main guy's name, I remember, in the 80s. It's funny, you remember these, or at least for me, my generation, I remember these 80s shows, and used to run home, and like Knight Rider was a big one I liked, and the A-Team. You all know I like Mr. T like crazy. Shut up, fool. Yeah, but you remember them being just these Hallmark awesome shows and stuff. Oh, cool. This is going to work out great if they don't block. Win-win. All right, cool. I think they saw too much stuff coming back last time that they're just like, oh boy, here we go again. I think I'm going to get Forest, believe it or not. I guess I'll get Swamp. Given our hand here. Anyway, so I think when I was unemployed for a spell, I went and, watched like an old Knight Rider or A-Team, and good lordy, they should have been like 15-minute shows today. You don't realize how spoiled we are with very good programming. I mean, the worst show today is like the best show back then, and it just so much time and such loose plots, and just like you can just feel them like stretching for money and trying to get to that hour mark. It's horrible. Oh yeah, I loved Murdoch. He was always my favorite on that show, other than Mr. T, of course. Oh man, I got hunters going on everywhere. Look at this. Maybe I ought to keep that knot of the bone handy. We're going to be taking a whole lot of damage here pretty quick if this keeps up. Debate. Thank you for that. I was never into Matlock. Those lawyer shows always bored the hell out of me. My mom was always watching them, though. So I know many of the themes. I do kind of miss that. That was like a energy to shows back then, because you had to sit down and watch them at that time. You had to readjust your schedules and everything, and it was just a whole different era. I kind of want that dragon scales to fall off. We're getting nowhere. He can do the other thing, so that sucks. Grapple with the past here. If I let that dragon, it's just, they'll obviously trip that if Scales falls in the yard. Knot of the Bone's completely useless here. I think This only lets us look for a creature. This lets us look for both, so I'm going to favor that. See what they do. See if I can get it out El Natural. Return a creature or land from my yard. Have we played a land this turn? Have we played a land this turn? Plays Swamp. Yes, I did. I think it might be worth more like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I can just eat it right now, and then I don't have to be a victim of his little shenanigans here. Which might make him do it in a hurry here. Oh, I thought I had to max out. That's why I got rid of good stuff there. My bad. Yeah, I considered we could have smashed him, but that was just going to lose the guy for no reason. At least now we can block the other dude. Probably going to have to play out our imp, take a whole lot of damage, and I'm just hoping that they trip their relic because they're like, oh, I don't need it anymore. We can get an imp activation and reset our graveyard. But and Chimpskey, yeah, that came much later in the 80s. And man, were they expensive. First VCRs, I had one rich friend named Titus, and he just had everything. And I remember, God, he had a VCR like 2 years before everybody else. 80s flashback. He's goading us. That's fine. I think we're going to game 3 here, guys. No, not Chris Titus. Cool. And they're still kind of curious, like, what the hell's that there for? The answer's right in front of them, but they're probably expecting a little bit more. Maybe one of the... What's that rhino that morphs? Razorback or something. Maybe our Stinkweed Imp plan will scare them to death. I don't know. I'm just going to hard cast an Imp. Aerial Assault. We've got to attack. So we will. Man, we're going to be taking so much damage. But we've got the Imp there. It's probably going to eat a bolt. Eat a bolt. It's going to have to trip the relic, though. Well, we take them both out. That's all right. Cool. Thank you, Trample. Bok, bok. There we go. Yep. Let's rock. Okay. Now, what options do we have here? Let me see here. It's been a bit. Forge or Lost Well. And we might be able to goad too. At this life total, I think I'm going to forge. I'll say forge. I'll put it on this dude here. There we go. Alrighty. We got a natural 5/5 in the air now. What's better than an angler? One with wings. Different creature type though. I always thought this was a zombie. I was like, oh yeah, it'll work on this. It's like, nope, bird warrior. It's like, it ain't dead yet. Gonna pull its black mana guild card. This list is by no means perfected. I mean, I've just been having a lot of fun with it. Let's do this. Kind of forcing their hand with that relic. Get rid of a few other big boys here. 2 turns, 2 Avenging Hunters down. I still don't even own any of those. I'm a pauper through and through. I've got plenty of tickets, but I'm just like, I kind of refuse to spend more than about... I take that back. I had a... What's that altar? That sacrifice a creature. It's really expensive for a while. I bought that at one of the high points. It's one of the only bad investments I ever made. Okay. Stinkweed number 8 right behind it. No, it's an artifact. Ashnod's Altar. That's the one. Yeah, I bought that at pretty high, and I think it got reprinted right after I bought it, and so it didn't fall too much further, but still. I've been very lucky with my Magic Online investments. Buy stuff and like, gosh, I got. I know I brought this up way long ago, but when it first came out, Haunting Echoes, it was like it got up to like $24 online, and I sold like 5 of them, and now it's like a penny rare. And then there was I had a windfall with Sensei's Top, and then what's that with Counterbalance? I had a bunch of those because I was drafting a bunch, and sold those at highs. And Engineered Explosives, same thing. It was just I did like a double take when I was looking at the price charts one day. I was like, what? Okay, well that's 9,000 free Pauper tournaments. I don't think so, Tokibi. I think you just buy an account. If you sell the packs to a bot, you use those tickets with like Magic or Goat bots or MTGO traders. You can start with like something like Mono Black Burn and start making money like that. I mean, it's not going to be very consistent. It's not a tier 1 list, but it'll get you there, especially if you become an expert at it. Well, we kind of need a whole lot of everything here. We've got them at 12, but there's a whole bunch of damage coming our way. And I want things to be dead soon, meaning in our yard, so we can start doing other stuff and making this Gnaw to the Bone pay off. Let's attack. Surprised we wiggled out of this. Oh, I can't say that yet. I mean, they're dead next turn because we're going to trap them this turn. It's a trap. Admiral Akbar. Trap. You accidentally click on us. Be like, no. All right. Is the dino going to show up? That's very well said, Mind Step Throw. Sometimes people are like, that's a terrible purchase. It's like, well, did you enjoy it? From an outsider's perspective, it can seem that way, but sorry about that. Too much coffee. So my wife and I's pickleball tournament's coming up later this month. That's when I will be missing, I believe, in 2 weeks, that show. And then my boys are both graduating. They're both seniors in different schools. One high school and one... Uh-oh, that's going to hurt. Oh, we're dead here. Look at this. Beautiful. Spread out the Stinkweed and attack for the win. What's he doing? They must be streaming. Wow, okay. They had the win there. That was exactly the right. That was 14 damage. Just bonk. Instead, we might survive because of a Gnaw to the Bone here. We kind of need a little bit of everything, though. We need to grab a land, which we won't because we're going to imp here. Okay. What's the next initiative here? Draw a card. Okay. Let's find some big old shadow creature. So yeah, there'll be a few dates in May that I'll be missing too. I usually only miss about 2 or 3 shows a year. No matter how much I talk about it, everybody's always like, where were you? I'm like, sorry. Let's bring this back. All right, we can gain 6 life. Nothing to sneeze at. Six will take care of these guys, but that's a big old 9-8. We're just dead here, guys. Let's go to the next game. They had the win there, so I don't feel bad. Mike Moss hopefully will watch this later and be like, oh my god, because I could have had like Moment's Peace there. Yeah, Moment's Peace should probably be in this over Debt to the Kami. We've got a little bit of redundancy in the Chainer's Edict, and we've got ways to kill enchantments and Tranquility, so that's a tough one. I think we're just going to roll this back, ladies and gentlemen. Try to get that early jump. This is a beast when you trip the threshold here, making it a 6/6, but again, like the Angler, everything can block it, so... Let's go. Long first game. Sort of similar decks. Pumping out big fat dudes, and only one way to do them. We'll mulligan this. Oh boy. Doesn't look like it's going to be our game. Keeping this. One imp's enough. Cellar's enough. Yeah, maybe throw out the imp too. I could see me casting that though. We'll do that. I'll lean on this and say go. Never if I liked playing Evolving Wilds more than when I'm up against Ramp. Especially if they have that first turn Arbor Elf. You're like, haha, it's sort of a counterspell mixed into this. Well, the first turn doesn't get much better than that. Think I'm going to lean on Forest here. Gonna act like we're hurting for swamps until we need them. That's going to eat up what little clock that we're starting to get going on here. Well, that changes things, doesn't it? Let me bring this out. Grisly Salvage is such a powerhouse in this deck, so I'll keep the Prowler back. Little elemental. Come on, miss your land drop. Say you kept that because you wanted to walk right into the relic, right? Double relic. Oh boy, this is brutal. So I was thinking like, yeah, Moment's Peace, maybe a Spore Frog. I think that's a little overkill. Just kill stuff with but Moment's Peace could technically really be a thing here. Maybe a way to kill artifacts would have been good. I guess we'll just take the wilds here. Okay. All right, I'll get rid of an Ash Barrens. That yard gets big quick. Come on, let me just find a big fatty. Yields priority. We just get rid of our own yard. We don't need their help. They're considering. Trip it. You know you want to do it. I'll be the whispering voice. Yep, there we go. Alrighty. And we've got some options here. We will Prowler. I think they kept a double relic hand and not much else. I'm just guessing. But seems their explosivity is pretty lackluster right now. I don't need the land. I'd rather have it in the yard. I'll just say okay. When you hit okay without anything, it just becomes a 2/2, which is a nice upside. We'll bring this out. Probably trip it for a swamp. We're only going to have one card in our graveyard here. We'll get rid of the forest. Bonsai Ultratron. Trons everywhere. Now they just printed that new one that costs 1. Again, it doesn't draw you a card, but at 1 mana, does it need to? Good grief. They don't like graveyards. That's bad news for us. Never run into a triple relic in, what, the 3rd turn? Yikes. Bye-bye, Crypt Rat. The inevitability sometimes happens, though, where we're just going to be able to hardcast this. Not the most optimal play, but I ain't against doing it. Let's go. Swamp. Bring that down. Yeah, you're right. That is the only card they played. It's funny. Well, let's do this just in case we hit some shenanigans. Boop. 3 more cards. We'll say okay. Drop this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Haha. You have your relic. I'm going to beat you with bears. Attack! That's the one. That second ability is pretty relevant too, boy. Yeah, we're playing a Delve list by online player Jarvis 808. Shared the list, made some, I think, improvements to it. I'm sure it definitely can be improved more. A lot of the lists we showcase are kind of fleshed out, and I think almost there. This one is not. They had Eccentric Farmer in the first list, which is I was just arguing it's just a more expensive way of doing what all the other ones were doing. Consistency is really high, but alrighty. Let's get them on time with this Relic engine here. Cut off our attack. That sucks. Come. Alrighty. We'll just bring out an Imp. We'll have a permanent blocker. And just pass the turn here. What have we lost? Quite a bit. There's 14 things in our yard. But none of them are the Dragon Fangs. I like to make sure this looks different than my graveyard usually does so that I know that's not my graveyard and make a play mistake. It seems like they're riding the ship and they have enough time if we don't find something quick. Grisly Salvage really puts us back in the race here. Forcing them to trip yet another one, but man, that's a lot of relics. That's a record. I've never had that many played against me by like turn 3. It's like 3 relics, turn 3. And one of them tripped. Wow, we can almost get there with that. We can if we just hoot here. So I'm just going to crash in with both of these. We have Crypt Rats and we've got Stinkweed Imp. If we play it right. Of course, we don't have them now because of relics, so that's what we're feeling there, Jaredgel. We've got plenty of removal in our sideboard, but very, very rarely bring it in. That's what I mean. Sideboard is so far from being complete. I think my Debt to the Kami was kind of an autofill that I've done in the past, and so I just did it again. Not that it's a... Because, you know, most of the time you're going to mill that thing away. What a long first game. Crunch. Okay, force down. Is he gonna eat the yard? Gonna run out of time if he keeps. If you play, if you're new to Relic, well, it means you're new to Pauper or Magic, but you can get in some big time trouble with Relic in your clock. It really eats up the clock. All right, cool. We'll just attack again. I'm just obviously trying to fill up my yard and seeing if they're going to do something about it here. I guess I could just crawl from the cellar, one of the guys that dies, right? We don't have enough for Mandrills now that he blew up a land, so that kind of blows, right? We'll do this. Bring this back. He'll do the thing. Oh, he didn't. Interesting. I would have done it. I'll get this guy back. Eat up some more time. Okay. And now we'll throw 3 things in the yard. Maybe find a forest. I'll consider it. Is there a forest amongst them? Nope. Now they're going to have to kind of trip something. Exile all cards. Okay. No wiggle room, but we've only got 1 relic to deal with here, but they've got quite a bit of mana here. I think this turn's going to be pretty explosive for them. 6 cards in hand, and we're limping a little bit. Only thing on our side right now is the time. I've had to trip 2 relics, so that speaks to the deck's ability to keep throwing stuff in targets in the graveyard. I did like that about it. I brought in a lot of graveyard, not this much, a lot of graveyard hate against Jarvis 808 when I first played him, and it wasn't enough because of exactly what we've been able to pull off so far. Backpedaling the whole time. I expected something fatter. That Stinkweed Imp, it's just like an auto fog here. Alrighty. Well, I really wish this had a different color to it, but we'll mill this here. Or should we attack first? Then we can mill in response. I'll just mill. Creature or land. Oh man, kind of want both here. We're dead in the water if they have land destruction this turn. Forest doesn't really do too much here. We're still one away from that. We'll get our mana right. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Gotta be frustrating when you're like, God dang it, I've got 3 relics. Still can't push through damage. We've seen Scred, so I'm just gonna hold back here. Got 2 minutes on our opponent here. Not the way I thought this list would win, but looks like that might be one of our outs. It's been long. They're due for a good spell here. Oh, that's pretty good. Renumbra Spider. More time on the caddy. Whoop. Coffee steam going up my nose. Hope I don't have a leftover napkin mustache. Be funny if he trips that when the Prenumber's on the stack. Be like, oh, bye-bye ability. Prenumbra. I'm going to attack weirdly here so that I can do the thing. Okay. It's also to keep a advantageous double block on the Mandrills option open. I kind of want one of these to die. Yeah, we'll kill that. Actually, no, we'll kill the spider. And go like this. Yep. We lose our team here. A lot of stuff going bye-bye. All right. Let's get back. I think I'm going to get back one of these dudes. That's 6. I could get back the Mandrills here, but then we can't cast it because if they just activate that once, we're a goner. So I'll get this back instead. They'll do the thing. Oh, I missed. For some reason, I thought that had to activate. What am I trying to say? I thought you had to pay 1 to trip it to activate, but that's. Where'd they get the 1? Did anybody see that? I didn't. Relic, where are you? Look at all these relics. Relic. Ah, he must have had 1. Yeah, I was like, didn't think I was misreading that, but oh, there's going to be a lot of damage. If we don't top deck an option here, we're going to be in trouble. We will be able to crawl from the cellar any targets that get upturned by Stinkweed Imp. Oh boy, this is nice plays. Under 2 minutes to go. Here comes the land destruction. This is getting grim quick. I thought we could just stinkweed out of the problem here, fill up our yard, crawl to the grave, anything, but now that math is off because flashback crawl costs 4. So that won't leave us with any floating colors to have a threat out. Yeah, we're going to die here, guys. Well done, Mike Moss. It's a fun game, though. Sure glad Scred can't target us. All right, we'll bring this over. Bloop. Not of the bone. 2, 4. Only 4 life. Yikes. That ain't enough, guys. Wheel a creature card. If that was a land, I might consider it. Yeah, we can't do anything here. We can crawl from the grave, but then we're just marooned with no lands here. So we lose this one. Felt unstoppable game 1, but well done. Like I said, not a tier list, so that's very expected. Yeah, where's Pulsa Marasa? The problem is, where's Pulsa Marasa? It's in your graveyard when you play a deck like this. You got to be very careful about... oh, oops. Oh, I had it set to 1 player. I was like, why does this look so funny? We know we'll win this one, right? Create. I set up my layout before so that it doesn't do that little joggle screen, and then it cost me there. So what are you going to do? Welcome Orange. Played many a times. Sort of a mirror match, huh? Yes. Let's see if we have better options here. All right, we'll keep this. Lead off with a bog. A wasted bog. And go from there. Watch, they're playing some graveyard heavy list. It's like, no. Where's our Golgari Rot farm? No, sorry about that, Shiraz. They had a pretty epic win there. He top decked I think they top decked the pirate, and then it acid mossed a very crucial land, and then we were just down to like 4 life, just like instantly. It's crazy. All right, let's Wayfinder here. So we've got a blocker, fill up our yard, get our mana right. I guess we'll do this since we did upturn the scales here. We'll have a big old flyer next turn if everything goes according to plan, which it usually never does. Not interruptedly. Yes. All right, it's going to take a beat, but we do have Crypt Rats main for just these styles. This might be that list that was Mtmentat, I think, was talking about earlier. From PauperRBust, the new white weenie. Good God, I know you like to play a white deck, but you don't need white borders. Come on now. Until they get punched in the face. That's such a great quote. All right, Imp's going to make this a real easy decision. We've got a whole fat yard. We'll bring this over here. Not that we need it. I guess we'll just grapple. And then Sultai. Oh, let's Prowler here. Just so we get another body out. I'll probably say no to this, but we do need land. Who am I kidding? So put 3 more in the yard. Choose a land. Yeah. We'll get a wilds. Okay. Play the wilds. Oh, we already played a land. I'm a dummy. Okay, let's do this. Boop. We'll take out the forest, the salvage. 1 Stinkweed Imp is enough. And tapping. 5. I mean a 4/6 flyer. Good luck. It's just going to get journeyed probably, so not that big of a deal. All right. Okay, now I got to find a way to build a Pauper legal fully white border deck just to troll. You must be pretty new to the channel if you're just figuring that out about me. Gosh, what was that, about a year back? We on camera burned over like a dozen white bordered cards at the end of each show, or when people earned up enough points, we would burn them. We lost a pestilence, a counterspell. There are quite a few good ones. I didn't just choose trash. White bordered commons. WBC. Okay, let's see if our action plan can get there. Fill up the yard. Fill it up some more. There's Crypt Rats. That's what we need. We'll get a swamp out of the deal. And grapple with the past. This is why this is so crucial. Mill 3 cards, then return a creature or land card from a graveyard to your hand. Very clear. A lot of these say of those milled, and that's why we are very into grapple at the 4 of spot, because there's no contingency plans. We'll grab a Crypt Rat. Just shut the door on this matchup. At least I think so. Attack! And you can't crack back. Again, this is so interesting because you look at in the Pauper universe of Delve, and people come to the conclusion, it's not really that playable, but it's like, man, in this list with that on it, it's such a good card. Only in this build. Triplicant after I show you a Crypt Rat? All right. Show you a Crypt Rat multiple times. Can we just top deck a swamp, please? That would be really fun. Yeah, that made our list, Chimpskey. Not the greatest card, but in these kind of styles, it's pretty decent. Oh, I could just Gnaw to the Bone here. I think I'm gonna wait on Crypt Rat. I'll just go get a. I guess we could do this. I'm just going to get our mana right. My graveyard's awfully fat. Now I can activate Crypt Rat for the turn it comes out. Don't have to worry about too much smashing. Gnaw to the Bones in the yard and very active right now. So Yeah, if you run up against this plays like Dredge does in Modern, where you're always going to win. Should not say that. You're usually going to win turn one because it's just so all in with the graveyard. But as we saw, if you go all in with the hate, it can get there. Thank you, Chimpskey. Yeah, I got that. We're going to roll to it after this game too. So here we go. What on earth are we going to run into here? All right. Well, here comes our friend, Mr. Rat. I will attack with... No, I won't. We will activate Rat for 0. Do I detect a... We will activate it for 1 here. I don't mind if what's-his-name lives. I'll say done here. See if he buys it again. Now that we're paying mana. Alright, so we got to go one at a time in case they do have prismatic strands or a ramp spell. We'll say done here. Should I do it twice? No. Once is enough. We can still respond. Done. Okay. And we'll get rid of the yard. It's expecting prismatic there. We do have flying. Hold down control if you want to do that at home, boys and girls. When you're activating the rat. It's always good to activate for 0 too. A lot of times people have an answer. They're really quick to show you that they have it. And sometimes you're like, oh, thank you. Okay. Well, I guess I won't do anything then. And we can just grapple back the rat here. If you're whoever was asking that question about lack of removal, we got 2 Stinkweed Imps in our hand and a Crypt Rat that recurs. So, feels pretty good. I'm going to nix him again here. We've got Knot of the Bone very active in our yard too. That feels pretty good. I might grapple to get a... there's a few options here. Oh, that makes it very easy. Okay, let's grapple here. So we can get back Crypt Rat again. It's very barbarically simple, but I like it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bring this out. Activate for 1. Done. Attack. Grabbler. Jaredgel, I love it. Propaganda. Killing more hawks than the avian flu. What is this? Steadfast Unicorn. Creatures you control get +1 and gain vigilance till the end of turn. That's pretty awesome. Saw that art and I'm like, oh, what? Wait, what is this thing? Vigilance doing its job here. Now you will understand the true power of this station. Let's grapple again. This time I think I just need to get a forest though. I could just get another scavenger, right? Do we have a... Oh my goodness. We still don't have a... You know what? We got to get our lands on track here. This is crazy. Oh yeah, we have a scales. I'll grab the another scavenger here. 2. I'll just pay the 2. I'll hardcast a imp just in case something really goes wrong here. We don't ever need a wayfinder. Oh, that's folly. I should be getting rid of the lands since Knot of the Bone may be a thing if they anthem strike us, but I'm feeling all right. Okay. Yes. Oh, hard cast an imp. Really wish we had another forest. I could be gaining a lot of life and just kind of, it might be a jerk move, kind of rubbing the nose in it like, oh, because we're going to gain like, I don't know, 40 life or something right now. Oh, that's very cool, Mindstab Throw. Meeting with the artists. Yeah, I met Therese Nielsen and a few others. She was definitely the most popular. I think I caught her when she was in a bad mood, though. I don't want to say she was mean, but she was a little curt. I think maybe she just got tired of dealing with fans all day long and hadn't eaten in a while or something. I don't know. Who cares? It's about her artwork, right? I hate that about the cancel culture when they're just like, oh, I'm not going to support. It's like, was the art good? It's like, who cares that they are as a person? Plenty of awesome things throughout history with jerks behind them, right? Like Michael Jordan, everybody said he was not very fun to be around, but sorry, I still will watch him play basketball till the cows come home. All right, we got this one. It's kind of hard to get there. We'll bring in the Crypt Rat. Yeah, we definitely need some. I should have seen that coming. I'm going to bring in Tranquility. We'll probably mill it, and then we can only Scrounger it back. But I foresee, yes, it gets rid of this, but if we have this out, we're already winning. We probably don't need to cast this. But in the case that we do, it's going to get all of the journeys, get everything back, and go from there. That to the Kami might be better, though. So that's end of turn. Tapping at the windows, feeling a bit. I know I only have 2, but it only grabs the critter. I'm going to get rid of both copies of that. It's probably what I could cut main. Yeah, exactly. Manacost.com. We don't really have to worry about graveyard. What is up with our forest not keeping up with our swamps? I have more of them. We'll keep this because we've just got the kick in the crotch play here. We're going to first turn bog again. That's going to be weird. WWW. It's not a website. It's what happens when you win against White Weenie and you write it in shorthand. It always ages people, right? And they, what website? And then they tell you WW. It's like, oh my God, you must be 60 or older. Which one are you talking about there? Reverend Silence? Yeah, that's a good card. Yep. Early on in my Magic days, I grabbed every single card that said rather than or whatever. Got like 8 of them, so I could, if any of them took off like Snuff Out did, you could sell the rest of them. And there's only 1 copy of Crypt Rat here. I think we might want to stem the bleeding before we turn on. This way I can at least trade. Not really worried about the... Cool. I'm almost glad that didn't hit, so I don't even have to make a decision. Now I got a 2/2 bear. Stinkweed's in the yard. It's feeling pretty good. Anthem effects can really make you change your mind on that, though. Here we go. Is Stinky gonna find our Crypty? There's a reason Crypt Rats is in our intro song. Damn fine spell. All right, we have plenty of lands. We're in a nice spot here. Okay, here we go. Now we can salvage into Crypt Rat. You know what? I think this turn I salvage into our Sultai there. All right, cool. Yeah, we hit a scales. We're in good shape. Boink. This is when the deck feels really fun, guys. I'm not going to lie. I hope you're feeling it. Get rid of a grapple because we can't do anything with that. We'll get rid of our lands here. Anything else? Any spells? Am I missing? This is not good on the eyes. I'll get rid of a Wayfinder here. And we have a big fat body. Yes. That might get bounced. I think that Chantry is probably there for not blue mana. Has anybody seen this list before? Curious. I'm just going to hold back here. We'll be attacking next turn. Scrounger's in the yard. Yep, there we go. Okay, that's their way out. Yeah, everything's coming online, huh? Look at this. Just the scales. Be eating my words real quick here if we run into an Anthem effect. This deck second mode doesn't work, but run essence filter over the wipe. Yeah, this is from Jarvis 808. Modified it a little bit. It's not tier 1 or anything, but it's a lot of fun. When it works, it's gorgeous. Well, we like the swamps here. Still a ways away from using our... I've gotten out of the bone in our main step here. Let's see. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. I think we still grapple here. I mean, Grisly Salvage. I know I can do it at instant speed. There's just no reason to right now. Plains is pretty good. Another Scales hits the board. I'm just doing this for... Whoopsie. I already played a land. Never mind. Okay, let's hope we live. Steadfast Unicorn. The old sunken city, that's right. Boy, that gets expensive. Get those shadow creatures ready. Here we go. Vigilance too, that's a pretty neat ability. I think I'm going to have to buy this little unicorn. I kind of like that. That's not that. A lot of these Anthem effects cost like 2 more. That one's not too bad here. We'll be blocking this guy, taking a whole lot of damage. We'll play bring back the Imp, so we can really turn on our life gain here. We can't do both. Maybe I guess we just pass. Next turn we can do 2 things, which will be good. Play the Gnaw out of the yard first, obviously. Maybe make them use up their mana. Lunarch Veteran probably coming back. All right. We'll bring back Gnaw to the Bone. See, we're at 9. I'm not going to do the math. I'll just let it do it for me. Watch they rip us off. It's like, oh no, you had more than that actually. Crawl from the Cellar is an option. Here they come. Well, that'll help a lot. Gotta be real careful here. I gotta keep 3 up for that. Play another 3 for that. I want Stinkweed Imp to die here. I'll play Stinkweed Imp and we'll block the Unicorn and just gain a bunch of life here. He's got double Anthem effect. That could be a problem. Again, Moment's Peace is we really whiffed on that. If you like this build, take the list. Move those Debt Takamis to Moment's Peace. Yeah, a lot better. You think like, oh, we'll just gain life. That was always my reasoning with Gnaw to the Bone, but it's like, well, sometimes that might not be enough. And we're looking at it right now. A Journey. Holy crap. I can't get rid of that now, can I? All right, well, we'll Gnaw here and be close to dead. Come on, top deck Tranquility. That would be so awesome. Wham! Okay. All right, 15. Nothing to sneeze at. Nah, no way. Might stab through. Don't really mind seeing this here. We have a secretive one in our yard here. So I want to keep 3. Yeah, we have to do it this way. We'll go here. Get rid of a lot of these spells. Salvage. Grapple with the past. Grapple with the pest. We'll say okay, yes. And then we'll say no to the second one. And we'll go white, this and this. Playing another imp. Hopefully we can block this and kill it. Good thing about not playing Moment's Peace, our combat damage actually happens. We don't... Sometimes you have to trip it and bluff the imp, and then you end up not having to trade it. It's like, dang it. All right. Boy, we really need to get that Crypt Rat back. Ground attack. No more. Imp Tribal. I'm sure you will, Chimpskey. Ah, a little reprieve. Crawl from the cellar. Here we go. Getting back Crypt Rat. That'll be fun. 2, 3, 4. Crawl from the cellar. Crypt Rat. Oops, we got to land. And I'm not going to do it right now. Done. That's a lot of life. Get a little bit of a break here. Let's attack. Another life from a Swedish chef. I don't know what that means. I guess I'll have to rewatch later and read the chat a little deeper. Can we just kill the imp, please? It'd be a nice way to have a spell that kills our own creatures, or like, you know, sacrifice a creature sort of effect, so that we can play the imp, and then when they're not running right into it headlong, we can do something about it. Another Battle Screech. The older one. I'll crash on through with that Hooting Mandrills. Be fun to put the Dragon Scales on the Crypt Rat in this matchup. That way we can activate it for 1 over and over, 2 if we want to. Just keep getting richer, right? Let's fill up our yard here. Yeah, we can do that. I'm trying to do the math if I have to hardcast Imp again, just to feign like we're weak and then hide behind the Gnaw ability here. Nah, we won't do that. Bad joke, bad joke, bad joke. I'll say no on this one. I'm going to just hardcast the Imp again. Math Lab. Here we go. Attacking. Come on, let's let one of these imps die, please. They're in no trouble life-wise. We've got a top deck a spell that says bring something back from the yard, and we can start having some fun. At this rate, though, we have to just keep targeting the rats because they're just so into this mode here. Okay, that's going to suck. All right, triple journey. My prediction was right. They're going hard at that. Come and get it, Unicorn. I want both of these imps to die. Well, we'll block here. We'll block here. We'll block here. We're going to be taking 6. Might as well wait till our yard's a little fuller here. Splat. I guess we could maximize our mana here. We're going to be getting more next turn, but we'll go up to 30. Right there's the main reason I did not play. Man, if we imp here, it's not all that great. Our yard's already full. I mean, we get a blocker. I'm going to top deck. Don't be a land. Okay, cool. That feels pretty good. 2, 3, 4... 5. We'll just hard cast an angler here. Boop. 2. All right, all right, all right. Get rid of a forest. What else is in here? I guess another angler. Okay. Yes. Okay and no. keep that option available. It's our last Gnaw, if I'm not mistaken. Where are they? Yeah, 2 Gnaws in the yard. All right. Did I miss a grapple? Because I just missed it. Prize fighter. Really need to top deck one of our get it back from the yard effects. Put an end to this these token shenanigans. So that Gnaw's only going to keep us alive for so long. They are just all in. Come on, come on. Triplicate spirits. Respect. Okay. We do not have trample. It's like worst case scenario, just little 1/1s getting in the way. It's my critique about this kind of deck all the time. Cancel. Don't be a... All right, there we go. Crypt Rats. Hardly knew ya. It's probably going to get a concession here. Oh, here. Hey, it worked. Look, we get the +1 ability on the zombie, right? Boink. We don't care about what's his name. We're just going to get rid of him right now. Done. So much work. Smash. Crypt Incursion. It's just not as good in this list as Knot of the Bone. Knot of the Bone gets tripped and thrown in the yard. You still have a spell. You don't have that with Crypt Incursion. Ah, boy, I feel bad for this guy. I've been on this side of this style of fight so often. I think we're still in top deck mode. We're just going to wait. No tripping of the imp. Cancel. It's not going to do us anything here. That does us a lot. I'll just do that right now. Got to be careful. We're at 17 cards. Soon to be 12. What do we got? What do we got? Tranquility. Oh, man. I guess we get a hoot. It'll be a hoot. We're going to really need to get our Battlefield Scrounger so we don't deck ourselves pretty soon. But in the meantime, we'll just play Honest Magic. How's that? Oh, we can just crawl from the cellar it this turn. I'm going to just try to shut the door here. Get down to like 3 cards. We can still crawl the cellar it. Say okay to this. Yeah. 3 journeys, and it doesn't even feel like we need Tranquility here. I'm sure there's a creature that can do that better. That would be a better play than that spell. I don't like Tranquility in the sideboard either. Yep, dead debate. No, that's a thing. It's just when you go all in this kind of a style, you know, most of your answers end up in the graveyard, so you need a way to get them back. If it's a creature-based thing, that's a good thing. Anybody look that up? Is there a good artifact removal creature-based that's green? Oh, man, this guy just won't go away. Trample will probably get there, though. It's a tough spot. You know, if you flash it back, then you got just 2 little blockers, not quite enough. I don't believe that's Pauper legal, is it? Tabu Orangutan? Mass Vandal, yeah, duh. Yeah, that would have been a much better... I apologize. I should have seen that. I was hiding behind the just the awe of Knot of the Bone. I mean, it's kept us in this game, but yeah. Hey there, Propaganda Loved. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm right back at you. We are playing Jarvis 808's Inspired Design, and I changed it up a little bit, and this is where we're at. All right, don't like that. We will call to the grave. I guess we can just do the... Yeah, we'll just win here. We'll call to the grave the Crypt Rat. I don't think we have... And, oh yeah, we can choose a... All right, so let's do this to this. Bring him back, Crypt Rat. For the win, if they don't have an answer. Play the Swamp. Show them we mean business. Play the Crypt Rat, trip it for 2, wipe their board, and swing for 13. Bonk. Done. Getting rid of this pesky unicorn. Attack! Oh, it took forever, but we got there, thanks to Knot of the Bone. I know, Holy Day. Oh, crap. With 1 card left, I'm not too worried about a Holy Day there. What a fun game. All right. So we WW against the deck called WW, meaning White Weenie. Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to play some Pictionary here, courtesy of my son's drawings. If you don't know this game, it's one of my bathroom breaks because I got to go get some more tea or coffee and use their facilities. But my son and I open up these little drawing apps, fling it to the TV, and we make magic cards. And then I just turn into this thing, and I just turned it into a video. Hope you like it. Be right back. And we're back. And Chimpskey, that's what the pause button's for. Okay. So we wait for an opponent. We will look at the list. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with this. 1-1 right now. Yeah, what are our ideas here in the side? Ooh, Argentina, nice. We've got a Caption Unicorn. That's right, you can sacrifice that. Unicorn. Could use that. Could use Moment's Peace. And Masked Vandal. Masked Vandal, what does that read? Artifact and enchantment? If so, that's the obvious choice. The Vandal. I better not hit any keys. I'll screw it up. Anyway, we got an opponent. Here we go. Yes. All right. I don't really like seeing him early, but this is kind of awkward, actually. Yeah, we'll keep it because of the Prowler here. And at least fuel our yard a little bit. Causal Pride Mage, that's a nice option. Especially with swinging with one big fatty. Alright. We'll forego that. Maybe they have a first turn land destruction ability. Who knows? Yeah. What do we got here? Dreamer Stingo. All right, let's go get a swamp. Get a Prowler online. Maybe. Crypt Rat. Not too bad. We'll play this out. Probably keep it a 1-1 the way this hand's working out. Let's see if we can find a land here. Booyah. No land. What a cruel world. Well, we might not need one with what we just upturned there. We can trade with ninjas if that's what we're going to be up against. Who knows? Yeah, let's start getting things online. Why not? There we go. Cool. I guess we're just going to cast the Hooters. Boom, boom. Get rid of this. Get rid of a Grapple. Get rid of a Forest. And get rid of a Wilds. See if we get a big fatty. It'll probably just get cast down, but Bam. What? We don't get a free spell? What's going on? Attack! This looks like it'll be infect, maybe, huh? Oh, yeah, we should have named the deck that. That would have been funny. Big fat hooters. Get everybody up in arms and pretending to be offended. All right, we got some variety here. Infect. That last game was interesting. Really showed the flexibility of having no answers to the yard. You do not want to go unchecked against this list. Just ends up getting too many toys. Thank you. I was really hoping we would just hit a damn land here. Well, the troubles continue. We might have a fast enough clock we can beat this list. I think I'm going to favor forest here. Come on, Mandrills. Come on back. Boom. I already got one, so I can get rid of the others. Ugh. I'm going to say yes to both here. I just want maximum carnage as early. I usually don't double up on that stuff. I probably have a way to kill it, but I mean, this is a pretty darn fast clock. Of course, it can't be an even 2 turns. Got to have that squeak out room, right? I've got 8 on the board. That'll leave him at 1 life. Maybe it'll be a crucial turn. Haha, Naruto. Or as I say, Naruto. Incorrectly, but makes my kids laugh. All right, we're going to hit. Maybe we can just activate Rat for 1 for the win. I think I'm just going to play Rat if nothing improves on our board here. Fuel for the cause, that's going deep. Woo! Well, Wayfinder gets us there too with that extra damage. We'll just do this so we have a yard presence. Who knows what we turn over. Let's see. It's like Christmas morning with every Wayfinder. Hey, that worked out pretty good. Okay. And the imps are in the yard. The imps are out. Think we're going to be a bit too fast for this. Famous last words. Concave Naturalist. Holy cow. What a trip. A 4/4 Dryad? I don't think I've ever seen that card. Mind Stab Thrall with the Concave Naturalist. Interesting. I kind of like that. It's pretty expensive though. Boy, 5 mana. You do get a 4/4 body out of it and get rid of a permanent. So far I think that Unicorn might be the better way. Quasal Pride Mage really leans on white a little bit too much. Okay, our guy's dead. Look at that. We got 8 on the board. Looks like my double dragon scales might be too much. Unless they got snuff out. And we'll be licking our wounds. And alright, so we're going to lose some Knot of the Bones here. Might as well do this. Okay, lots of options. Attack for the win. Let's see if they have snuff out. Of course, that would still put them at 2. Attack. Are we writing a W for game 1? We are. All right. Let's get rid of all of our life gain. Watch, they do a big switcheroo. They don't even play Infect. I don't even know if that'd be possible. It'd be crazy. Okay, we do not need life. We do not care about Crypt Rats. Although we could argue we could technically get there. This is one of the few games we're going to really like. Gurmag. Yeah, as we've seen, there's not really anything to do against this style. Maybe we can bring in some Rotten Reunions. And I think I'll bring in I guess another rat. Just going for all pressure and power here. Oh, Wickleboro Elder. I forgot about that. That's right. That brings me back. That used to almost be in a lot of lists. That was always like every other, like, I don't know, week you'd see it in somebody's sideboard or sometimes main. That's right. It's like, what is it? 3/3, and then you activate its ability and it grows. That's a neat little thing there. Yeah, Wickleboro might be the call. Ooh, getting cold. Yeah, Fume Spitter is pretty awesome. Oh, yeah, that's nice, Chimpskey. I forgot about that combo. You use your own Fume Spitter on the Elder and then just keep blowing up artifacts. That's pretty awesome. Thanks for reminding me of that one. I had long forgotten about that. All right, we like this because we got an Angler, Wayfinder. Keep, again, normally every little 1/1 under the sun blocks this for every day of the week, but it's like, how much graveyard hate do they bring in? That's the question. Unstable Mutation on that. That's some deep tech. Nice call. Cycle this. We'll just go get a forest. Try to play some honest magic here. Thanks for joining me, everybody. This is Propaganda. Every Saturday, almost every Saturday of the year, I am here 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or PDT, or whatever the kids call it these days. Been doing it for about 7 or 8 years now. Trying to be the most consistent one out there. But if you're new to the show, we customize and what do you call, or specialize in custom MTG commercials, because by day I am a film and TV editor, and so I have a lot of access to a lot of footage, shows of stuff I've worked on, and I turn them into MTG spoofs, which we've seen one. We played a Weather the Storm insurance commercial using a few cards there, if you saw at the top of the show. Oh, that's so cool. Voondock, thank you for that. I was experimenting with this concept this week, and today my favorite Pauper content producer is doing it. That's what I call synchronicity. Good song, too. All right, let's turn on our graveyard so we can do stuff next turn. We'll bring out the Wayfinder. And by no means is this one fleshed out and necessary. Well, maybe at the end of the show we'll make some changes and such, but for right now, I'm kind of liking it. I think I'm going to value the forest here. Okay. Or maybe just throw them all in the yard, right? Do you have to choose? I can't quite remember. You may. It's a lot of mays in Magic. Of course, we're only in April here. No. Bad joke, sorry. We're full of bad dad jokes. Where's Pauper Tim? Don't start him up. You can hear the little rim shots coming from a mile away. Yeah, Mass Vandal, I think, is the call. I can't quite remember, though. That's just enchantment? Or is that artifact or enchantment? I think it's just enchantment. There's a lot of maze in Magic. I still have 3 weeks left to go. Mind Stab Thrall with the comebacks. Nice. Mass Vandal. Artifact or enchantment? Okay. It's so obvious it's Mass Vandal. Never mind. Mass Vandal. Huge miss on my part. Why? Because you want creature-based stuff because we're throwing everything into the yard. And so if you throw a spell there, no matter how powerful it is, you still have to top deck it. Otherwise, it ends up Grisly Salvaged. All right, Shiraz, we'll see in a bit. Are they sitting back on counters? Okay. Whisper of the Dross seeing some action. It's actually decent against us here. Let's see what we can get here. Come on now. I'd really like to have a Stinkweed in the yard to really promote this, but we'll still get there. Could just grapple here too. I think we grapple first so that we can maybe hit our enchantment. Either way, we're going to get good stuff. Yep. All right. I don't really need anything. So we'll go grab... Do we have any... Wow, we don't have a swamp still? That sucks. Just in case we top deck the enchantment instead of drawing it here. If I play to land this turn, I have. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hiya! Let's see if it lives. So far, so good. Da-da-da. All right. We've got our little special Pauper Zodiac showing up here. Went through just like the Chinese Zodiac and made a... oh, that's a counter, isn't it? Made a Pauper, or a Zodiac just for Pauper, like you see in Chinese restaurants, where it goes throughout all the creatures and stuff, and there's different months and everything. That took me a spell, doing 12 of those, but every once in a while I like to show those off. But if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see all of them if you're impatient like me. Want to see what year you were born? Check this out. Infect versus Gurmag. Hoven Eyes. Here we go. Let's see what we're going to get. Not much. Let's fill up our yard and probably cast... man, he's been neutered. Let's attack first. I think I'm just going to trip that. Do we have enough if I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can Ash Wilds. Or can we just play the mana and just do it anyway? That's 4. While we've got an opening, I think I'm just going to smash through with this, right? Boom, boom. Bye-bye, graveyard. Already at 3 infect. Scary. Hey, thank you, Chimpskey. Yeah, if you're curious about that Zodiac playlist, we've got that there. But if you're going to go that route, it's probably a lot better to just check out our spoof fake commercial playlist, which expect top notch. Really go all out on those. And now we're almost at 50. We've got everything from Flame Tongue Hot Sauce to Jace Gideon and Venzer car insurance to fake restaurants. We've got prismatic lenses like a fake eyeglass company. Complete with voiceovers and all the fixins. Alrighty. I think the angle's here. Pitch this for Swamp. Fill up our yard a little bit. Play the Rat. Then we'll sit back on Rotten Reunion and attack with it. I mean, it's a subpar card right now, but maybe the Rat will scare him. Nope. Guess not. Maybe we'll get enough swamps on board here. It might even be better to just Ash Barrens for another swamp. Don't want to kill our angler, though. It's pretty tiny. I can only attack once with this. Neat mechanic. I did too, Dreamer Stango. I thought when Raven Form came out, although there's that one enchantment from the set after that, I think that only costs 1, and it just, kind of, it's almost like Blue's Journey to Nowhere. Uh-oh, Angler's going to get even smaller. There goes our rat plan. Hopefully they didn't forget to proliferate our creature. I was hoping they would. Is there anything in the yard that's relevant? There is not. I think having a 2/2 body right now is a little bit better, so I'll just play this. Maybe it'll eat a counter. That'd be so funny if they counter this. It's easily the worst spell in our deck, but we just had to take out so much life gain because they're playing Infect. So we shall see. Wow! It eats a counter. Okay. I think he was going to die anyway. And I'll probably... I don't know if it's better to just eat that or to actually do something with it. Oh, come on, list. Not like this. Cycle this. Just filling up our yard here. Get a swamp. I'll play the bog. Not that it's going to do too much here. Man, we're hurting. We're top decking nothing here. Benefit here. Oh, jeez. Clear. Sorry, I got my phone on vibrate and it's sitting up against metal. Yowza. Lands, why? Don't forget, we got all of our propaganda emotes. Custom, baby. Woo! All right. Get out another decay, I guess. One's not, I mean, we can just hardcast any of our big fatties right now. It's just we're just drawing lands now. This plane just loves me. We have one of them. The off chance that we're stuck with... there's a lot of ways to get it, but we always end up with it in our hand. Why, you may ask? Because we are playing Dragon Scales for our big fatties, so they're offensive and defensive. Again, this list was sent to us by Jarvis808 online. We tweaked it a bit, not enough. I think we have some changes to be made. And if you have a creation, please one at a time, but you can always send it to pauperganda@gmail.com. Can't promise we'll get back to you or play it, but if it's original and cool, we really pride ourselves on unique deck lists and stuff. Alrighty, let's attack again, just in case we gotta pop this. Is Crypt Rat gonna get there? Our silly side route decay plan, we've only got 2 of those, and I've never thought I'd be playing zombie aggro. All right. And then he proliferates. Or we could just kill it. I could trip for 5. I guess we'll let it go. Getting dangerously close. Well, we did do the fake Arkham's Discount Astrolabe Warehouse. That was a fun one. And then they went and banned it. So now I'm like, come on, where's the reference? All right, Shahrazam's back. Awesome. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Crypt Rat, you gonna get there? All right. Who would have thought that Rotten Reunion... I was just using this as place filler, but it seems like it might actually... He's like, why are you targeting my yard so much? It's like, I don't care about your graveyard. I just need some aggro here when our fatties aren't showing up. Problem is, they're probably sitting back on counter spells because we've only seen a few proliferate spells. Geo-Wizard's going deep in the well for his proliferate list. I didn't think Grim Affliction was playable anymore. Given the... I mean, I remember I made... Oh, check this out. Okay. Well, didn't think that would be met with that, but... Boop. Let's try this again. All right. Fighting us a little bit here. Let's see what makes most sense here. Gosh, we've almost got lethal that way. Coming on in for 3. I get 7 attack, swing, boom. Yeah, I think we just play the Angler out here. Oh, they're sitting on a counterspell, aren't they? You know it. What's that fuel for the cause read, though? Oh, it's just counterspell after 3. That's right. I was thinking we could pay our way out of it, but I think this Angler is going to be going to the graveyard. Can't imagine they're sitting back on removal when they're taking damage like this. Who knows? We shall see. I love our chat. You guys join me every week. 7, 2, 4, 5 on the board. All right, he's gone. That's pretty cool artwork. 3. Bring this out. Leave a little bit of a threat on the sideboard there. I mean, in the graveyard. Watch, he's got mana leak. He's like, how did he know? Deep cut for you that don't, those of you that don't know the card. I've always thought mana leak was a little underplayed. It's a pretty darn flexible card. Ooh. Uh-oh. What do we lose? What do we lose? Yeah. We're going to go 8. I guess we just lean on Delver here. Yeah, we got to get rid of the Crypt Rat. That's a tough call. You can't pop it because then we lose both, right? All right, we'll lose this. Vraska's Fall. My son knew all about Vraska. I was like, who is this? Whoa, we're at 9. Drum rolls. Easily could lose this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Forgot they hadn't dropped the land yet. Oh my goodness, this is nerve-wracking. Ah, we win. Okay. How many times have I drawn a Crypt Rat and said those words? It's often. It's so powerful, it's so well known, and it is still so underplayed. I'm going to hold down the thing just in case they have a response, like the Dross card, right? Say done. Because we are at 9 in fact. Woo-wee! All right. We win that one. Let me roll over to the deck list here that we're playing right now. And I'm going to go grab another thing of water. But before I do, we're going to roll to a little skit on how to hypnotize a chicken. I'll be right back. I believe it's...
They know how to hypnotize a rooster. Ready? So you hold him like this. Watch Tooster's body. Watch this. Watch his body. Oh my gosh. Watch. He's totally fixated on the line. Watch. He's asleep. This is just like when they're roosting. How long will he stay like that?
A few minutes. Sometimes they'll stand up and stare at it and then lay down on the
If we erase the line, will he wake up?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Is he gonna peck me? Oh my gosh, if you erase the...
And we're back. Let me minimize this. Sorry, I thought you guys thought I was leaving, but not quite yet. We will keep this. I guess we're just gonna forest, swamp, salvage, unless our opponent thinks otherwise. Do not like seeing that Scrounger early, but never know. Maybe we're going up against a millstone list, right? Oh yeah, it's definitely based on that. Quite a few different designs in it, though. But yeah, I wouldn't have come up with it if it wasn't for that. Uh-oh. Poison coming our way. What's up? 2 poisonless in a row? I mean, loosely in quotes. It's... All right, let's get a forest. We might not have much time if we don't get a grapple with the past. Sliver's... Pretty scary list when you first see that sliver drop with the poisonous effect there. Okay, now we really need a way to get that in our yard. I believe I'm just going to pass and then we'll Grisly Salvage. I think we're going to get more out of that than Grapple right now. It'll give us double the targets when we do hit Grapple. Sure wish that Dragon Scales was there, but there's our plane again. How many times has this happened this game? Or, I mean, today, right? We have one of them and it's like, hey, here I am again. I know, when did this become Poison Ganda? You're right. Sliver's showing up. All right, I like to do this right before combat because sometimes people click through it after they yield and it buys you a little turn. Let's see what we can see. Already have an Angler. Our mana's good. Do we take the Mandrills? I don't know if they're going to get big enough. I'm happy to trade stuff, so I think I'll grab Angler here. I already have it though, you know. I'm going to grab the Wilds actually. Fill up our yard a little bit more. Hopefully they don't have Journeying Hen. Hey, it worked. See? Saved yourself a poison. Or they get so transfixed with, wait, what's he grabbing here? Okay, we'll go grab a swamp. I like to say swamp. Sound like a duck. Be nice if this was a bigger angler, but for right now we'll just have to settle for it at this size here, because Grapple will be able to get back everything else. We'll get that, and the salvage. And oh no, we got to pay one more due. Not too wild about the mandrills in this matchup. I guess we'll get rid of the other angler. Tapping can be flashback, so I just kind of want to lean on this a little bit here. Here we go. Attacking ends. Not that there was any attacking happening because of my trickery. We all know that's why it worked. Grabbing a drink, says Mind Stab Throw. Oh yes. Libations and magic go together well. Magic Online, anyway. Never forget when I first took our firstborn was his name was Alex, and we took him to the pediatrician. It was right, and I remember this because it was right when Red Bull came out. It was like, you know, this new drink, and she thought it was like 9 a.m, and she thought I was having like a beer, showing up to a doctor's office with a beer and just like, "What's up, dog? Yeah, tell us about our kid." You know, it's just so ultra redneck and in a funny way. All right, let's grapple. We can always grab Hooting. I don't really want to, but all right. The Scavenger is MVP in this kind of a matchup because we're going to be able to fly over. And normally this card sucks in this list with the Dragon Scales. It's actually pretty darn good. I'm considering, I guess we don't really have to show that off. I'll play this out. I'm not even going to attack here. I'm just going to sit back and grapple this. Oh boy, we got to almost get rid of everything, don't we? All right. We'll play it. Do I thrash in or not? I'm sure there's another Lord headed our way. I'm just going to sit back. Always wanted to find a way to make like poison and infect work together. It's just so clunky when you try to brew it together. Maybe one of you will think it out. Figure it out. What am I trying to say? Drinking beer at 9 a.m. Weird. Tell you, I felt like it yesterday. We played pickleball early in the morning. We were up super early, and then we went to a brunch, and I was like, after sweating, you know, just beer and after a workout always seems to go well together. This is not how I like to play Magic usually, casting Dragon Scales, but I think I'm going to do it here. Boy, you know, it might be a better move to even put it on the Angler, but I'm not. Try to up the clock here a little bit. We're going to turn on our Stinkweed Imp if they ever attack, and the Scrounger can keep us from decking ourselves. Let's just play things out here. We're one journey away from being in like uh-oh-ville, but for right now. Even if we top deck another Dragon Scale, we can play it thanks to having Plains main. Little clunky. Like I said, list definitely needs some tweaking, and we've already discovered that I did a hard punt miss on Masked Vandal. I should have had those in the sideboard over Debt to the Kami, because, as I've said, spells go in the yard and you can't bring them back unless they have flashback. But if you make it creature-based, then you got a lot more options there. Abundant Growth. I like their choice of lands, as long as they're not white bordered. Opponent hitting a little bit of a mana hiccup. That's a lot of it. Never mind. They must have the White Lord for that play if they... Yeah, that's what my deduction is working. Vigilance is a problem. We both have it. Mine has flying, though. I don't think we're going to win this game. This just feels like we're going to get really close, and then those Lords are just going to be like, good Lord. We'll fill up our yard, see if we get another answer. We kind of do. I mean, I really want this to die. I think I'm just going to hard cast it again just so we have some defense here. Okay. We could cast... This is one of the weaker spells we're running, but it has flashback. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put a creature card from among them. Usually we will want creature or land, but that's what you get for the flashback ability, I guess. I'm just going to play this. I'm going to play the Bog into nothing. Yeah, he's going to have all the Anglers here pretty quick. We're just wanting them to attack so that we can trade with the Lords here. The Lords. There's so many metal names. Well, if anybody's new to the channel and you ever want to see something, we did a bunch of metal bands in one of our spoofs for the Pauper County Fair, which is a completely make-believe thing. Actually, one person, when I did that, I thought it was a real thing. They're like, where's this happening? Like, what state? I was like, thank you. You would have thought when it's brought to you by the Spellstutter Speech Institute that it would have been a thing, a little bit of a payoff. But with language barriers and people being all over the map, you know, you never know. Half of you out there speak 2 or 3 languages, making me look like a big fat solo dummy. But we had a bunch of metal bands. What is it? Distant Melodies, Martyrs of Ash, The Blastoderms, and many more. Tickets on sale now. Kobolds and kids under 10 are free. I remember that script really well. Yeah. Yeah, our YouTube uploads after we stream on Twitch have been definitely extended. It's like, I don't know why they've added like an hour to the HD uploads. So apologies if you're watching this on YouTube a little bit later. And while you're there, if you can, remember to like and subscribe and do all that stuff. I would appreciate it. Hard fought 7K views. We just hit that, as you saw in the promo earlier. Uh-oh. It's getting scary. Glad I put the Dragon Wings on the Sultai, buying us another attack phase. Still doesn't make too much sense to attack here. We do... No, we don't have Threshold. I'm a liar. I thought the Battlefield Scrounger could be a thing. It is not. Now it is. All right. Let's pay for the white here. Yeah, Ray of Revelation's a pretty good option. That's for sure. We've got another flyer. I like that. Yeah, I guess we'll get the flyer. Okay. There's no reason of eating up our yard here. So I'm just going to pay for everything here. Let's see how much we have to pay the Piper. 2. Okay, we'll get a Grapple and the Wilds. Keeping our creatures there because we do have 3 Knot of the Bone main, which might be a big thing here, but we might just get poisoned instead. What a standoff. Really showcases the importance of having vigilance, right? We got lethal next turn. We'll just swing with the imps as long as they're untapped. I don't want to walk right into a Prismatic Strands or who knows with Abundant Growth there, right? You can have every color under the sun. What a great card that is. Replaces itself. Woo! Oh my goodness, we're almost at 50 viewers. Whoever you are, thank you, and please chime in the chat. Let us know who you are. Winding Way. Damn fine card, too. The board's full of good cards. I'm Yargle. I'm me. This one here. Oh, I take it back. Look at this dreaded white borders. Ah, avert your eyes. Red Wonder. I'm me. Thanks for asking. All right. The Stinkweeds got there. Whew. Okay. Crypt Rats. I don't know. I think I'm just going to take it out. It's only going to help early. Later on, I'm going to have to nix everybody. Knot of the Bone's probably going to be a good call here. So we can always eat them with Delve. We don't always need them. Again, I always like to keep in 1 Scrounger because this deck churns through cards so fast. It gets a little ridiculous. It's not too bad. I'll bring in some Edicts. Let's bring in all 3. I think this is a bit heavy-handed, but famous last words against that list, right? Yeah, I think version 2 of this build, I'm just gonna eliminate these. Probably have like 1 Vandal main. What were some of the other notes? Obviously, Moment's Peace is gonna take the spot of this because of very obvious reasons. What to lose? Yeah, it's an Edict, but little oversight and design. I'm gonna just mill it half the time. So, all right, let me do that. Let's see what we can do here. Anglers bought us a lot of time there, as did Stinkweed Imp. It's so hard not to make Stinkweed a 4 of. It was a 2 of in the original list. We'll go over the original list after this and probably be calling it a day. I'm going to be able to keep this hand because of this, but if we don't hit a swamp, but this is really nice that these didn't end up in the yard. I don't like seeing him. It's the second time. Watch, we're going to find the plains. We'll keep A little bit of a dangerous keep here, but we are going to look at 4 cards in the next turn. I just realized it's been 26 hours since I've eaten. I'm not very hungry right now. I'll change the second I see food. Maybe it will be seafood. I do like ceviche. Not sure if I'm totally sold on this. Wayfinder's usually a lot better, but sometimes that 2/2 body will get you there. Winding Way. All right. Hey, man. We haven't been hit yet, so I'm happy. Come on, come on. Let's just hit a swamp and let the drama end. Everybody, positive energy, swamp. No. All right. Well, at least there's no critters on the board yet. Happy about that. Boy, if we don't see a swamp, this is going to get kind of scary. Okay, second best thing. We'll grab this. Okay. Walk right in a Swamp Mandrill. Oh, no. That's Scavenger. That's got to be our play early like this for sure. Now we have a blocker. Second best thing. Ash Barrens. Why not? Now, are they going to be like that other... What was that first round? We have triple relic on turn... What was that? 3. I think we'd seen 3 relics. We lost that game. For pretty obvious reasons. I like this slow start by our opponent. Maybe they overboarded? Not quite sure. One good thing about slivers, an edict is never wasted. Frodo Baggins. It kills precisely when it means to. Swamp. Do we get our theme on board, or do I just start killing? You know what? I'm actually gonna edict this. One sliver turns into a 5/5 trample, whatever. Add word here. I just want to keep the numbers down. Our yard is so vulnerable right now because we want everything in there except for the Barrens. 3, 4. I guess you could eat 1 scales, but I always regret doing that. I might even go up to 4 scales in a build like this. It's just such a... Like I said, it's like playing Prismatic Strands in a weird way. You've got like this 6/7 body, and they got a chump block, and they can't crack back at you. They're hurting for mana. I'm going to keep praying on it, because we're kind of hurting a little bit here, too. I just want to buy time. I know we didn't play a full set of rounds here, guys, but just these matchups are taking a while. So this is going to be the last game of the day. Not game, I mean after we win or lose or draw. We'll go over the list at the end there and maybe make some changes. Guys only got 18 turns. We're coming at you. What to do. If you saw me yesterday, a few of you were kind of surprised. I bumped into a few people, and I was playing a fairies list. Pretty stock too. Tier 1 meanness. So I know the Gemhide's not the most awesome target early on in a game like this, but volume's a thing, and I just wanted to keep them off of being able to keep up with us that way. Ew, let's see. I can block that, which will give us more food in the yard. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm just going to kill those edicts. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it, guys. This is... I think that we're going to get to 7 mana. 2 and 3. I'm going to put both of the dragon scales on this thing just so it's just this massive problem. I usually don't do this, but there are times when I do. Yes. And yes. Preventing any sort of... get our mana right here. Watch, they draw a relic now, right? And be like, no, rewind the clock. Make my tech work. All right. Not quite 3-turn clock, but it's close enough. That Abundant Growth shows up with maybe some sort of edict trick. You never know. Hexproof and slivers when it has a flexible base like this. The sideboard is your oyster. I wonder where that... Does anybody know where that phrase came from? Oh, look at this. First time ever they're playing with the land I play with. The reason I do that is that was exactly what my walk to the woods looked like in my early days. I mean, exactly. This tree with that weird side growth over going the trail and everything. Craziness. Never seen somebody else play that land. That's cool. Uh-oh, here comes the problem. But again, this, because it has, well, we haven't attacked, but because it has vigilance, it buys you a turn or two, just like Prismatic Strands does. Sometimes it just locks up the game, and it's over, baby. All right, we're just getting to where we can just cast stuff here. Oh, boy, perfect timing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's just hard cast it. It'd be nice to find a way to just naturally kill that, too, that's organic to the list. There's not many, like, Necrotol effects, but... that would be pretty cool. So again, like normally here, we attack with a 3/3 and then they snap back with just this wall. Now it's a 5/7 body on defense too. So I know Dragon Scales doesn't look all that impressive by itself. You're like, yeah, I want it to have haste or have trample, or it's, man, definitely my favorite. The blue one's pretty awesome. I mean, but we already have flying. So unless we're going to the space station, I think the air is high enough. Don't want to breach the ozone. As long as poison doesn't show up, those Knot of the Bones will go far, but we got to fill up our yard. It'd be really nice to get a Grisly Salvage into like a Stinkweed Imp, or if they just attack here, which I think they're ramping up to do. Nope. All right. Got to be careful. And sometimes they'll play a little bit of pump too, just for that surprise element, pushing it through, keeping it alive against Scred, that sort of stuff. It's always, I just wish they were tapped out. Man, we are really, really, really struggling here to have anything of relevance. I guess we just play that out. It's clunky, but it's a body. I'm just going to play it. Absolutely nothing to do. He's bored. Wish I could attack with the imp. Not gonna. Got to be careful too, being game 2, and they know about our deck. They might have stuff like Moment's Peace too, so we can't really assume that this clock is going to work. Really want some stuff in our yard. I can sit behind Knot of the Bone. Usually, as we saw earlier, you can gain 40, 50 life sometimes on a deck like this. That's why we like to be able to reset with the Scrounger, but it's also why I do like the extra 2 of those, and the rare chance you are up against a deck that makes you draw a lot of cards and mill or whatever. All right, I do not regret seeing another Stinkweed Imp. If we go in for 6 here, well, either way, there's no reason to do that, especially if they have a Strands right now. They've got enough white creatures. It might be a decent option. Looks a little lopsided because they have 1 plane up, but are we going to get there? This was Slivers. I didn't even write it down. I think going aggro and eating those edicts was the right call, because look, we're still not at 7 mana, so kind of a Dreams Day scenario that you're going to be able to have those be relevant, but it's nice if you flip them over late game, right? Don't like this. A lot of mana, drawing a card. Another Lord. They probably just have to smash, right? At least our yard will be filled up. Uh-oh. What, all our creatures gain flying? What is this? Oh, I was right. Good news is we've got 3 good blockers. I respect being able to play that out. That's the problem, though. Our big boys all have, or the things they want to avoid all has flying still. But they got a really good blockers now, don't they? I guess I just have to go in and imp them to death. Strange. That feels really good here. Okay, I guess I'll go in 1 imp at a time, right, guys? What a strange scenario. Huh. All right. Let's go in with an imp. I could play an imp every turn if they block. I don't want to move the dragon scales. Everything has evasion now. Okay, their team gets a little weaker. Good times. And we turn on our yard, which is huge. Wanted to do that before showing that we have another one in our hand. Aha! Stinkweed Imp, what you gonna get me? There's not too much, really. We just need some life and Knot of the Bone. Start turning things on. Yeah, if we could do the Dragon Scales at instant speed, that'd be a thing. If they start gaining life, this is going to get depressing. Feels like we got this game in the bag, and it's like, nope. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. This is getting grim quick. That vigilance, dude. Oh, boy. Vigilance and regeneration. Remember what I said about winning? Oh, man. This is nuts. All right. We'll block here. Here and here. Taking massive damage. What a neat way to end this one, huh? Getting ahead of myself. Vigilance and that's such neat when it all comes together like that. There's such an inevitability to a slivers lists like this. It just like, I mean, think about it. All your creatures just do everything. They fly. They tap for mana. They have vigilance. They have trample. They regenerate. One more Lord. I'll be in big trouble. Wow. So many things we got to get rid of. I think we're losing this one. Remember what I said about Crypt Rats? Yeah, we don't even have enough to activate it for lethal here. Fun way to lose, though. All right, Imp, come on over. Crawl from the Cellar shows up. We don't have much other options, though. Yeah, we're just dead here because what we got. We have all these spells that showed up. There's only 2 critters. All right, let's go to game 3. That was awesome. Top decking that. So there's no real hate that they're bringing in. We didn't show them our Knot of the Bone, so that's good. Yeah. Rat. I'm just going to have 1 copy of Rats here. Grapple, I love. Prowler, I want to cut down to like 2 on these. Mandrills aren't really. It's probably one of the weaker cards we have in this matchup. I want to make room for all 4 debt to the Kami. I know it's inorganic, but Slivers is all about the numbers. And as we saw with that Edict, that almost got us there. So I'm just going to go this route. Maybe we'll do this, bring in 1 more Prowler. I'm losing the Mandrills because we're not going to be attacking into this thing. Our Scavenger's the only way through until they draw their flying spell, and then we're just, as you saw last game, toast. Yes, not so much. I mean, the regeneration, it was just, like I said, everything was just a Voltron, right? You could just do everything. This is a pretty fast hand. We'll keep this. I'm actually going to lead off with a Bojuka Bog here. No, that's folly. I'll bring out that for a swamp. We don't really have any defense in all the stuff that we brought in. We're probably going to just, all that debt to Kami and things are just going to throw in the yard, which will prove my point that was a bad idea. Who wants to prove points like that? There's one thing I've always been with you guys, it's honest. When I screw up, I call it. And Crawl from the Cellar, really janky card, but it's really shines mid to late game in this list. As we saw with the Crypt Rat version, right? We just kept one card bringing back something like a rat over and over again. That's kind of scary. Everything about slivers is scary. Flanking's so, I think they could have done a lot more with flanking, but put it on a lot more creatures. You sure don't feel that way after playing a list like slivers, though. That's for sure. All right, we'll salvage at the EOT. Hopefully we hit a big, fat, dragon scales, and then we can just get an early win with Scavenger. Gotta keep in mind that flanking is gets tricky. Old school lands, I like it. Uh-oh, this is a good start. Mana ramp slivers, darn it. When you have the discipline to play Gemhide Sliver, it's like, good for you for winning. Focus on that flexibility. As long as those lords stay alive. That's a strange option. I would have think you would have used it for mana. Must just have dudes, right? Okay, salvage. What are we looking for? All right. We hit quite a bit of stuff here. I guess we'll go forest. And we lose a debt to the Kami. But if that was a Chainer's Edict, it's not like we're going to get to 7 mana anytime soon, right? Kind of respect that they didn't even have journeys. It was just like, I'm going to get there. My creatures are going to do everything. You will see. So I guess we just grapple first. Oh man, see, this is a conundrum, isn't it? Let's get a threat out here first. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, Faceless Butcher is probably the closest. You're right. Do we want a blocker here, or do we want grapple? I think we went Prowler here for another body to block with, right? I'm going to get 3 cards regardless. Let me do that, because I don't really have a good target, a critter to hit with this yet. And nothing. So we got a 2/2 body. I'll be all right. I'll try to calm me next turn. I promise. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Prowler's probably the least likely target. Yes. As long as the Lord doesn't show up, I can trade with one of these guys due to flanking. Or because of. Oh boy. Come on now. Let's get going. See what we got. It's nervous. This is something about childhood portrayed in art has always got that spooky feel to it, right? All right. It's Lord Town. Here we go. Now, do they desire mana or attacking? I doubt they're going to attack here unless something drastically changes. It's another Lord. Okay. Problem with Debt to Kami, it costs us a full turn in this scenario, and all he's going to do is like lose a flanker. Yeah, it's just a dead card now. Makes you wish we played Snuff Out. I don't think we're getting out of this unless he's just going to draw dead for quite a while. Well, it feels a little... What am I talking about? That doesn't feel good. I think we just have to go aggro here. I'm going to grapple. Come on, Dragon Scales. Don't really need that. Don't really need that. I'm just going to say nothing. play the bog for nothing. A lot of words going around that say nothing. All right, and then get out another flyer. It's kind of our, I think this is our only road to victory. Not of the bone, not probably going to be relevant soon. We'll already have 2 scavengers. I'll get rid of that one and that one. Wish this was a 4/5 like its brother there, but at least this is a 3-turn clock. Another Lord shows up. It's not going to be enough, though. Got to get a Stinkweed online. We need to play Chainer's Edict, Detakami, and play a Stinkweed Imp to feel kind of safe here. It's not of the bones, not doing anything. That's a very expensive gain 2 life spell at the moment. Like I said, I've cast it sometimes in this list and gotten 60. It's pretty crazy. It just, those slivers, the Sidewinder slivers really made this kind of just an draw, because it's like they're just going to pitch those, kind of irrelevant here. But double, yeah, I can't even block here because of the double flanking. It's like if you put every ability on creatures, the list gets good. Isn't that something? Wow, look at this draw. Yeah, we're losing this, guys. But thanks for joining me. We'll play it out. Much like tonight's UFC event. Hopefully Israel does it. Like I said, I cannot think of a better example of just being a man than that. Man, whew, that UFC event tonight. His boogeyman come back for the 4th time. He's putting just everything on the line. That's so respectful. I mean, it just can't. That's just like living in a movie. It really is. Blows my mind. All right, even if we top deck a land here, we'll just Edict like crazy. They're going to lose both flankers, which is relevant right now. Actually, I think they might lose the Gem Hide, given that they have a holdout settlement. I really like the Slivers list. These are so forgotten. This one and the, what's the other one? It does the exact same thing. Survivor's Encampment. Great card. That's what I based my list, Brute Squad, which we have a tutorial on, along with all these other decks. Sometimes they're a few years old, but I really go all out with those videos. But if you want a really fun aggro list that draws a boatload of cards, man, I feel like we really dodged a bullet there. I'm sure we're going to eat it right now, but how good would Moment's Peace feel in this list? I'm a dummy for not playing it. Yeah, we can't even... I was thinking we might be able to try to stay alive a little bit, but we are just so dead here, guys. This is ridiculous. Open up our yard a bit. I think I'm going to just play Chainers and pretend that we have a good card like Moment's Peace, which, again, I don't know why I didn't think about doing that. I'm a dum-dum. We can't even survive. They just swing out. I mean, I can block with this guy. I can't block with our win condition here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 26. Yeah, it's only 36 damage. What are you complaining about? I can't attack with both. I have to just attack with one, and that's, you know, it's just losing magic here. Maybe we make it. You know what? Let's sell the dream, right? We got Moment's Peace. What are you going to do? It's the only card I could have and do an attack like that, right? Problem is with Vigilance, they just have no drawback in attacking into this. But it's been fun, guys. Hunted Fingraph. Huh? Oh, to bring back creatures at random? I wouldn't want to spend that kind of mana and then end up, you know, nabbing a Blanchwood Prowler or something like that. Yeah, Fog or Darkness, that's right. Both are bad options in a list like this. We would have to go with Moment's Peace. And we're dead. What a colossal way to die, though. This is like being tied up on railroad tracks. The semi's coming. You've been poisoned. And, I don't know, there's a... Maybe you have a tourniquet on. There's like 8 ways to die, right? Put a little hesitation in their thing. We lose. Colossal smashage. Is that a word? I guess it is. I'm going to make it one. But that's the list, guys. Let's go over it real quick and have some fun. Again, congrats to Jarvis808 for sending us this list. Not congrats, just thank you for sending it in. And so I'd want to get rid of tapping at the window for sure. Plus it frees up. We can't really count this as a spot, so we'll just move this over like to the kind of the free stuff. This feels a little bit better. We wanted Vandal. V-A-N-D. I think that's about the only thing that would have that spelling. Check. All right, I'm still here. Yeah, being able to have that option is pretty cool. I think we would want one here and literally all three in the side. Oops, not there. I think having that would be pretty cool. Get rid of all the deck kami. Leaves us with one spot there, one spot here. Lands felt pretty good. Crawl from the Cellar, I really like it 2-spot, and it's janky, but it does get there. A trample ability, maybe. I'm not quite sure what else. I'd really like to get something on turn 1. Yeah, we can exile plenty in our graveyard to get rid of something like a Journey to Nowhere that's going to be key. But I'm actually going to leave this incorrect so that it alerts me later, and then I can spend a little bit more time on it. But if you like this list, thank Jarvis808 for it. But also, you know, this is where I would start off if I were you. And we've got one slot here that's open. You could even go with make sure to keep it creatures. You know, Scattershot Archer might be a good call for, like, you know, Delver lists and stuff, being able to bring that back. But I mean, of course, you're just going to lean on Crypt Rats in that case, right? Maybe a way to, oh yeah, Moment's Peace, duh. Needed to get Moment's Peace in the sideboard. So I'd probably get rid of the Gnaw, the Tranquility now, the Bog, and now we've got 4 spots for Moment's Peace. See how many things start with peace, right? I have my keyboard set to cut to commercials and such, so I'm a little add 4 to sideboard. So that's where I would. Now we only need 1 main. What should we go with here, guys? I don't want it to be a. I don't know. I'd probably just go with another forest or swamp for right now. And there we go. 21 lands. We'll hit that there. Yeah, you could recur the Bog. I just hate being susceptible to that. Yeah, this feels pretty good right here. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me here on PauperRBust. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. We'll be here same time, same place next week. If you have any cool ideas, decks ideas for the show, send them to pauperRBust@gmail.com. Until then, we will see you next time on PauperRBust. Adios, everybody.
Attention Propaganda Nights! Show your love of all things Papa with our Ultra Deluxe Playmats. And true to our Papa roots, the glorious artwork is 100% free.
Trying to give these guys everything they can get. I mean, that's it.
Just send an email to propaganda@gmail.com with the subject 1, 2, or 3, and we'll send you the playmat file for free.
I gotta read it again because my mind is just a piece of shit this morning.
Just visit yourplaymat.com. Custom sleeves available too. Use code PAUPERRBUST10YP.